Hey everyone, I'm KoBaC, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Disney Lorcana Ruby Steel Reign of Jafar deck, which features Mulan and Stitch. And we're going to be getting into this. So, just to kind of cover what comes in a starter, like if you've never seen any of the starters before for Lorcana, they come with a 60 card deck, they come with a booster, and a bunch of other things to kind of help you get started if you're brand new to the game. So, I've already cut open the side of the box here. I have not opened it yet. With the deck. There we go. So the deck comes in this white paper wrapped up. Here you'll find a quick start rules guide. You get one booster pack in all of the Lorcana starters, and this is the same booster pack like if you bought a booster box or you just bought random packs from your local game store. And you also get a lore tracker. Object of the game, we're not going to get into everything here if you've never learned to play, but the object of the game is to be the first player to get to 20 lore, and you do that by questing your characters. And so this has a place for you to put your cards that are in play, your deck, your discard, your inkwell. You won't really need this once you get kind of familiar with things, but it's nice to have. It's kind of like getting started. This will be your lore tracker, and you've got a couple of different damage trackers here so that you can minus as your characters are taking damage. And through this, we're going to be getting into the different cards that come in the starter set. I'm doing like a brief overview, but just to show the physical cards right now. Most of the cards are going to be non-foils, but every starter comes with two foils in the starter. So for this one, we're going to get the Mulan and then also the Stitch, like we saw on the front of the box. And this Stitch, I personally really love the Stitch art. I hope that this character in particular, this particular piece of art, the steel version of Stitch, will become a playmat, because I think this one they just did an absolutely incredible job with that. So let's go ahead and get into how to play the deck and some of the cards that are in the deck. All right, now we're over here at the desk, here to be able to look at all the different cards that are in this deck. I have put together the entire deck. If you want to check it out, in the description below, you'll find a link to this particular deck. You can see all the cards and everything before you purchase it. There's also an affiliate link if you're interested in buying this starter for yourself on Amazon. So just as something to kind of help support the channel if you're interested. All right, so getting into this set, into this deck, we're here on dreamborn.inc. This is a phenomenal website for us to be able to build decks. We can import them to different other things that we need to, export them, send them as images and stuff for other people to see, and we can share it and everything. So it's a really cool platform to use if you're new to the game. So I have this set up in terms of characters, then you have actions, songs, and items. So we're not going to get into every single card and what's the best use of every single card, kind of like an overview of the way that the deck should be played, and then kind of just giving you some pointers of maybe some of the cards to kind of look for. So we only have 5 1-drops there. We've got a couple other ones here, but Light the Fuse is a decent card for removal in terms of a starter deck, but you need characters to already be exerted. Twitter Pated also only kind of works in the sense of other characters need to be on the table, which, by the way, as a side note, I happened to just rewatch Bambi the other day with my family, and Twitter Pated is an interesting thing that they would put in there and use that. The Sword of Shan Yu, this is not a great card. This would be one of the cards if you're looking to upgrade something. This will probably be one to go ahead and have taken out for something else, because you have to exert the sword itself, and you have to exert one of your characters to ready chosen character. So that's a big cost associated with that. So in terms of the characters, Captain Hook is great. Mulan is great. She has an ability that when you play this character, you may draw a card, then choose and discard a card. It's a mechanic called filtering. It helps you look through your deck a little bit faster to find the things that you do need so that you can move forward. Next, we got our 2-drops here. You got a couple vanilla like Friend Owl, but he quests for 2. Grandmother Fa is, you may give chosen character of yours +2 strength this turn. Might be helpful. Thumper. Prince John is a decent card in the sense that, he costs 3 to put on the table, but he has 5 strength and 5 willpower, 5 health. That's pretty good. Yes, every time our opponent plays a character, he's going to take a damage, but he will likely be able to take out 1 or 2 characters before that happens. Hopefully, right? You're probably not really looking to quest with him. He's going to be more of a fighter just to have on the table as a big presence that, yeah, go ahead, exert your character. I'm going to smash Prince John into that and get a really nice trade. You got a bodyguard here with Bobby. General Lee will have resist. Vinny is a fun card because during an opponent's turn, whenever one of your other characters is banished, gain 1 lore. So if Vinny gets banished, he does not give you an extra lore, but off of all your other characters, you'll generate 1, which is nice because this deck overall, yeah, you've got some characters that, can quest for 2s up here. You've got even one here that can quest for 3. The thing is that with this deck, you're not really looking to quest. It's more of a fighter deck. It's more of a challenging deck, which is not a bad thing at all. And there are decks that are good at that. In my opinion, I feel that this deck, I would probably rate it as like a 2 out of 5. Like if you're brand new to the game and you're like, KoBaC, what's a good starter? I would say that this one's probably a 2. You're probably going to get this one because either it's new, right, for you, or you really like Mulan or Mushu or something like that, or Stitch, so you're just drawn to the deck anyway. Red Steel currently, with the way that the game works right now, the Red Steel or Ruby Steel combination is on the weaker end of things. It's not really great. It has an issue with, in the game we call card draw. You have one way here with Stitch. So during your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may draw a card and you gain 1 lore. So that's nice, but it has to be on your turn. So if you use Stitch to challenge one of my characters, you get it. If I challenge Stitch, you don't get it. So there is that caveat that you really want Stitch to be useful in that for you to get you the lore, to also get you a card. The only other thing that's jumping out at me that even draws cards is Beyond the Horizon, which is a really great card. Choose any number of players, they discard their hand and draw 3 cards each. That is pretty nice because you could pick your opponent, you could pick yourself, you could pick both of you. So if your opponent had more than 3 cards, maybe say like 6, you'd play that, make them discard their hand and only draw 3 new ones. So you got rid of a bunch of their cards so that it's not as dangerous for you because they have way more choices than you, right? The more cards is more choices. The downside is this is not an inkable card. And let's see, what at the top, you've got 11 uninkables. That's not too bad. But some of the stuff that we do have in here, there's nothing with Singer to help generate, extra singing potential. You've got to just have them on the table. So overall, I would say that this is like a 2 out of 5 for beginners. If you're a more experienced player, I would probably, I'd probably rate it as like a 1 out of 5. I wouldn't say that it's trash. I'm not doing that. There's potential here. There's stuff that you could get and add to this deck to immediately start making it more proficient. I just think that on the out of the box, can you compete with other starters? Maybe. But I think you're going to have to be a better player, more experienced player to take advantage of this one because it really wants to fight. And if you can't set it up properly, it's just not really going to get you that benefit that you need. Who knows though? There's new sets every couple of months. Every 3 months there's a new set. So in 3 months or 6 months, they could release a couple of Ruby and Steel cards that you could throw in pretty affordably. And just all of a sudden this deck is actually pretty decent. I think though right now it requires a fair amount of bonus. If you were interested in, okay, KoBaC, what are some cards I could look at? Look at Doc. He's a Steel card that helps you draw 2 cards. Calhoun is a great choice. You know what? Actually, I could go ahead. Let's just pull it up for you. Why do I say it? Calhoun, this one here. She's a Steel card. She's a great choice. When she defeats a character in a challenge, you automatically get 2 lore. Right? We're already kind of in that direction. Doc, the Steel Doc, when you play him, you discard your hand and you draw 2. Desperate Plan is another really good card for this kind of deck because we need card draw to keep it moving. If you have no cards in your hand, draw until you have 3 cards in your hand. Otherwise, choose and discard any number of cards, then draw that many cards. That can be really helpful if we get really stuck in a pinch. Oop, add that back. What's another one? I would say add 2 more of the Mulan because she's pretty decent. And from there, you could be looking for a different Mulan that you can shift with. This Mulan General, the Imperial General, She has shift. She has evasive when she enters play. If when this character challenges another, yeah, you're able to trying to read it without the thing being in the way. The cost. What I don't remember the exact wording, but what she does when you play her or when she challenges, your other characters can challenge ready characters, which is great because normally you cannot challenge readied characters, which means when they're still vertical, they have to be horizontal because they've exerted to sing or challenge or quest or something else has made them be exerted. Then you can challenge them. She allows you to be able to challenge ready characters, which is huge when you're playing a deck like this. Another card that's a little bit more depending on your budget, Mushu, he helps your characters generate 2 lore when they defeat somebody in a challenge. So it's like they all have the Calhoun ability. And like I said, some of these are not super expensive. It depends if you want to spend 20 bucks to jazz up your deck, 30 bucks, 50 bucks. It kind of just depends on what budget you have. I would just say that overall, this deck is not, the color combinations are a little tough. Could you take this and build something out of it? Probably not anything that's super great because some of the other popular combinations like red, purple, red, blue, they wouldn't really use these ruby cards. The other cards that you, decks that use steel, you probably wouldn't necessarily go that route with this one either. You know, if you want it because you want to get it and you want it gives you something new to try, this is definitely going to be a different type of starter deck because it is so challenging focused. Yeah, you have some stuff to help quest, but that's its main thing. And we can't very well conclude this starter. If we've got a booster pack, we got to open it. So let's go ahead and do that now. And every booster pack, if you haven't seen before, comes with 6 commons, 3 uncommons. Then you'll have 2 that can be rare, super rare, or legendary. And then your foil slot at the back. So every pack does come with a foil. And this here is like a product. In this case, it's a puzzle. Also has a QR code on that. And in your foil slot can be any rarity, including enchanted, which in the next couple of sets, they're going to be introducing 2 new rarities. So that'll change up some of this. So we'll just kind of just go through this. Gene, Fred, Scarab, Wasabi, Mr. Snoops, Toby Turtle, King Candy, Magica Dispel, Napoleon. First rare is a Ludwig von Drake. A legendary out of a starter. Heck yeah. Tinkerbell. All right. And the last card is a foil Wasabi. I mean, you can't super complain when you buy a starter kit, starter set, and you walk out with a legendary. That's just usually considered a good day. So thank you guys very much for watching, commenting, subscribing, helping to support the channel. And if you're interested in seeing more reviews like this, please let me know down in the comment section. Share this around. And that'll help me to kind of keep doing this and make more content for everybody. All right. Thank you guys. Bye.